For some reason, there still seems to be confusion surrounding Sony's Xperia brand and who exactly the phones are made for. You'll see people stating that they're too expensive and that they're not good enough for the monies. So who exactly are they for, and are they as bad as people seem to say? Let's try and clear that up a bit if we can. It's no secret that Sony don't sell anywhere near the numbers of phones that they used to. Once a giant of the Android smartphone world, its sales have dwindled over time under the weight of larger corporations and competition with much larger marketing budgets. Of course, Sony themselves have never marketed Xperia very well, and that added to the downturn in their fortunes. There was no clarity in what they offered. The last several years have seen a change in the brand, however, with a newfound focus that many seemingly still don't understand. Sony decided to reduce the number of models of Xperia that they produce, then coupled with selling them in a much reduced number of markets, to concentrate on giving a niche of users the tools to create. A lot of the expertise coming from their alpha camera division and putting an emphasis on you being the photographer or the videographer, rather than the phone doing all of the work for you. So to clarify, who are Xperias for? Whether you're into photography, creating YouTube videos, playing or streaming mobile games, or recording a podcast, Sony Xperia is there to allow you to create the content you want to create, and provides you multiple tools and features that enable and support this content creation. They're for content creators. Apps like Photography Pro, Videography Pro, and Cinematography Pro gives you a tool set for creating specific types of content. Having a headphone jack that not only allows you to listen to music, but can be used as a microphone input. Something that I actually use myself quite frequently. The Game Enhancer allows many customization options surrounding performance, touch response, and more, as well as allowing you to enable HS Power Control, which stands for Heat Suppression Power Control. And that's on an individual app basis. This lets you have the phone plugged into a charger and have that power go direct to the phone, bypassing the battery almost entirely, and thus giving you less thermal issues and outstanding battery health. And to be honest, I think this is a feature that should be on every premium phone minimum. I mean, imagine having this on a Samsung when using DeX whilst editing and rendering a video, for instance. Some of these features you won't find in any other handset on the market. Not all in one package anyway. They're not for everyone, but for someone like myself, it's an extremely useful tool. For instance, I record some of my videos on my Xperia 5 Mark II with Filmic Pro plugged into the charger and with HS Power Control enabled. And I also have a Rode video mic plugged into the headphone jack. Once I'm done, I will almost have the exact same amount of battery life left in the phone. I won't have eaten into the battery health, and I can just pop the micro SD card out to put the footage on my laptop, or I can, of course, edit and render the footage on my phone using that same HS Power Control feature. It's a really compelling use case. When it comes to the photography, the main argument against it tends to be in regards to the Xperia's auto modes. They can be a bit hit and miss, and that's true. Bright backgrounds can be blown out, and with no dedicated nighttime mode, you won't get a bright, clear image at night like you would on, say, a Pixel or an iPhone. In good conditions, though, the shots look great, and I do prefer the shots over the competition most of the time. And I understand people's argument for why this isn't good enough. Sony are adamant they want the photographer to be taking the picture, not the phone itself. It's about you wanting to get a particular shot, having a certain vision, and going through that process of attaining that through sort of a traditional means, learning how to use the tools correctly. I've really been enjoying learning how the cameras function, and I think Xperia is a really good entry point into that instead of having to have a dedicated camera. And again, this isn't for everyone. If you're someone who is a bit of a night owl and you're socializing into the early hours, wanting to capture everything that happens, then this isn't the phone for that. You'd be much more suited to a Galaxy, Vivo, or a Pixel. Those phones also have very different feature sets to analyze, but they have very similar approaches when it comes to the auto HDR heavy point and click shots. I really don't think it's too complicated an approach to understand. Sony in the last year have turned their sales around and are now profitable. The change of focus in the last few years is clearly paying dividends, and they're providing people, however few they are, with a genuine alternative to all of the other brands that seem determined to copy each other on features, all down to the lowest common denominator. They are clear in their approach, as noted in the video from the newly announced Xperia 1 Mark IV. They are for creators, professionals. Anyone who says otherwise at this stage is either being flippant or just simply not listening. Do you think Sony Xperia would be suitable for your needs? I'd love to hear from you. Stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.